Okay, let's just jump right in. What if the internet wasn't, a bunch of separate apps and websites, but a single shared world? That's the question behind what we're looking at today. It's this super radical concept called Cloud Atlas OS. And get this, it's being pitched as a new operating system for the entire planet. So, to really wrap your head around this, let's just start with that big question. Imagine for a second, you're not doom scrolling, you're not flipping through endless feeds. What if the entire digital world was one single unified place? A spatial experience that we could all be in, together. And that right there, that's the core vision. We're talking about a completely new kind of interface, one that literally merges our digital lives with the physical geography of Earth. I mean, it's a wildly ambitious goal, right? But it's the foundation for everything we're about to get into.
All right, so how in the world do you even begin to build something like that? Well, the engine designed to make it all happen is Cloud Atlas OS. The big idea is to completely ditch the menus, the apps, the feeds we're all so used to, and replace them with a single interactive 3D globe. So instead of searching for stuff, you explore for it geographically. Now, what makes this whole thing so different is what's under the hood. It's built to run on a decentralized peer-to-peer network. What does that mean? It means it runs on the devices of the people who use it. No giant data centers from big tech, no insane cloud bills. And the cool part is, in theory, this means it can scale forever. It just gets stronger and faster the more people join.
Okay, so we've got the big picture. But what does the system actually do? Well, it's all built around 4 core components that work together. Let's break them down, one by one. First up, we have something called swarm governance. And look, this isn't about politics as you know it. Think of it more as a toolkit for direct collective action, for coordinating actual missions in the real world. And this quote just nails it. The whole philosophy here is that it's government by doing, not just by voting. The focus shifts away from just, checking a box every few years. It's all about empowering people to see a problem and then actively build the solution themselves. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, imagine this. You could pinpoint an issue right there on the 3D map, brainstorm solutions with other people, launch a petition to get everyone on board, crowdfund what you need to fix it, and then organize the real-world action to get it done. The key is it's all in one seamless flow. Okay, that's component 1. Now let's look at the second one, because this is where it gets really interesting. To get people excited and involved in these missions, this system has a built-in feature called Mission TV. And the analogy they use is perfect. It's like Twitch, but for real-world impact. So instead of watching someone play a video game, you're tuning in live to watch a community project happen in real time. Maybe it's a beach cleanup or a team building a community garden. You get the idea. So through Mission TV, people on the ground can live stream what they're doing, earn tips and funding directly from viewers, and hopefully inspire other people to get involved. And this leads to a really cool idea, creating a new kind of influencer they call a human 4.0. This is someone who gets recognized for their positive impact and personal growth, not just for, getting views. All right, so we've covered action and engagement. The third component is all about knowledge. And honestly, this might be the most mind-bending part of the whole project. It's called the virtual encyclopedia. So get this, the plan is to take all 6 million articles on Wikipedia and turn them from flat text into interactive 3D scenes, and then place them on the globe right where they belong. So instead of just reading an article about the Eiffel Tower, you could literally walk around a 3D model of it, right there on the map. And here's where it gets really clever. There's a built-in truth-checking system. Let's say you're exploring this virtual world and you see something totally out of place, like their example, a green giraffe at Starbucks. Well, you can just flag it, and that flag automatically sends a correction request back to the source, back to the Wikipedia community. It basically turns exploring into a fun, gamified way of fact-checking. Okay, on to the fourth and final component. This one is all about creativity. It's the app and game layer, and it's designed to let anyone, and I mean anyone, build stuff right on top of this world. The whole point here is to make creation radically accessible. The idea is to have tools so powerful that building an app or a game could be as simple as just describing what you want. So you could use AI prompts, or you can use actual code if you know how, or just simple drag-and-drop tools. And remember, because it's decentralized, there are no hosting fees or back-end servers to worry about.
You could, for example, just type in a prompt like New York, cyberpunk-style first-person shooter, and boom, it could generate a game that you can monetize living right there on the map for everyone to find.
Okay, so that's the what. We've seen the four big pieces of Cloud Atlas OS. But the really big question is why? Why build something this ambitious? Well, the motivation comes from a concept called the golden cage.
So, the golden cage is this idea that right now, when we face big crises, our options for what to do about them are stuck inside this invisible cage. We're limited to a few approved tools, right? Like signing a petition or donating to a crowdfund or maybe posting about it. And the problem is, these tools are totally fragmented and scattered across dozens of platforms, so they end up being pretty ineffective. And this comparison really gets to the heart of it. The internet we have now, it's controlled by a handful of platforms, and it's expensive to run things on it. Cloud Atlas OS, on the other hand, is meant to be owned by the community with zero infrastructure costs. It's all about shifting us from just being aware of a problem to taking real, coordinated action. It bundles all those scattered tools together in one place for, maximum impact.
Now, as if all that wasn't enough, the project also makes some, let's just say, very ambitious claims about AI. The suggestion is that this whole architecture is actually a new pathway to creating artificial general intelligence, or AGI.
Okay, so the argument goes like this. Current AI, like the large language models we're all using, have some pretty big limitations. They make stuff up, they hallucinate, and they don't really get cause and effect. The big claim here is that the spatial map-based structure of Cloud Atlas OS is designed to fix that. So, for instance, instead of the AI just inventing an answer, its reasoning would be verifiable. You could actually trace its logic through the 3D world of the virtual encyclopedia. The whole goal is an AI that can reason and adapt in a way that today's models just can't. And this is such a cool way to put it. What makes it different is that its AI isn't a black box, it's a walkable brain. Think about that. Because all its knowledge is laid out spatially, you could literally walk through its thoughts and see how it got to a conclusion. It's not some mystery box, it's a totally transparent, explorable intelligence. So let's zoom out. If a system like this actually worked, if it scaled up to a global level, what would that even look like? What's the endgame here? Well, the ultimate goal is something they call a post-platform society. And the vision isn't to tear down existing systems like governments or media, it's to build a parallel system that's just better. The thinking is, if people can organize and learn and solve problems way more efficiently on their own, the old structures don't get destroyed. They just become obsolete. And the whole thing is guided by this incredible quote from Buckminster Fuller. It's meant to be like a filter for every single thing that happens in the system. You have to ask, does this mission help everyone without hurting anyone? It's like a built-in safety check that forces everything toward positive sum outcomes. Which brings us to the final and maybe the most important thought. This whole massive project is built on one core belief, that with the right tools, we humans are capable of cooperating on a planetary scale to solve our biggest problems. And that leaves us with a pretty provocative question, doesn't it? Are we ready to become the kind of people this technology believes we can be?